everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and today I'm talking about something Peloton related. You guys guessed it, I'm obsessed, so I'm making lots of Peloton videos, but this one is just reviewing one of their programs. So they changed the programs, they're calling it Programs 2.0, where they updated it, and I did talk about the changes that they made in one of my Pelo Talk videos. I'm just going to talk specifically about one program today. It is the Mastering the Basics cycling program. It's a 6-week program, and I am going to screen cap and throw some stuff up on the screen for you guys so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. When I'm talking, I will be looking down, looking at the actual program itself. So when you log into the digital app, there's a section for classes, and it has classes up at the top, which is all the on-demand classes, and then next to it there's one called Programs. There's also Collections and Schedule, which we're not talking about today, but they're different little sections. So we go to Programs, you have to scroll pretty far down to get to this Mastering the Basics program, and I started this program right as I got the bike. I think I took like one Cody Rigsby beginner ride and then went immediately and started this program. It is a 6-week program, but it isn't an everyday thing. And I found that I really wanted to get on the bike every day because it's shiny and new. So I ended up doing other classes along with this program, but making sure I was fitting in the program. So when you click into it, you don't really get to like look at anything until you actually start the program, which I've already done. I don't think it'll show you here my progress, but I did end up getting the little gold badge for it. But it will walk you through the basics. It's 6 weeks, 4 days a week, 28 classes, and it says 15 to 45 minutes per day. So you see kind of what you're getting yourself into in it. It talks about the equipment. The recommended schedule is just basically 4 or 5 classes a week. And then you have to hit at the bottom start program to actually be able to see it. It walks you through some like talking points, but I'm just gonna hit start program for the sake of not making this video an hour long. So this is kind of a review of the Programs 2.0 in general, and using them in real-time practice, but it's also an overview of just this specific program, which I was kind of impressed with this program, and then I got super bored with it really quickly. So I did the first 2 weeks and I was really gung-ho about it. The classes in the beginning, you're being exposed to different instructors, so you get to meet a lot of the instructors. Like the first one's Tunde. You take a class with Emma, with Alex, with Jess King, and that's your week 1, is meeting 4 different instructors. They all have different teaching styles, and they're beginner basic level classes. So it's just each one teaches you something about form or about the bike itself, basically like beginner coaching stuff. Like, this is how it should feel. They talk about the different positions on the bike over the course of like the first 2 weeks. I feel like the first 2 weeks are really full of information, really informative. I would recommend everybody taking those first 2 weeks when they first get the bike. But after that, I felt like I wasn't getting anything out of it. It was just random classes that you're taking, and I didn't feel like it was helpful after the first 2 weeks. So I did end up finishing all 6 weeks, but by the last week I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to pick my own classes. And so the class is called Mastering the Basics Cycling, right? So I would think all 6 weeks would be cycling classes. That's not the case. Like in week 3 or week 4, they start introducing other of their class varieties, and that part just really irritated me too, because I was already doing some of the Hardcore on the Floor calendar, which is a Facebook group. You can just Google it and find the group. They have their own strength training calendar that they plan around the Peloton app. And I was just not into doing the extra classes that they throw in just randomly, even though it's just called cycling. They have other classes in it. So that's my #1 complaint about the whole situation. Like, I'm not just taking 6 weeks of cycling classes, they're throwing in these other classes that I didn't want to take, even though I signed up for cycling for 6 weeks. But anyway, the classes themselves were pretty simple, basic classes. So it's not like they were really overwhelming to take these ones. I actually took more classes in addition to this. So I really feel like it wasn't too intimidating or too stressful. It was just the annoyance of not really getting a whole lot of lessons out of it past those first 2 weeks, and then also them throwing in the randomness. So like going back to the actual app and programs itself, you only get access to the first class, and then you have to either decide to take that class and hit the red start button, or you skip the class and you don't get credit for it if you're trying to get the badge at the end of this. I'll show you the badge in a second. But you only get access to one. Like, you can't skip around at all, which I found kind of annoying too, because some days I wanted to really push it. Some days I wanted to take like the second class here is the low impact ride. I wish I could have saved that class for like later in the week when I was a little bit sore. That class would have been a nicer one to have at the end of the class, but you can see there's 2 low impacts for this first week. And then let's see, does it let me go back? So if you scroll up a little bit, you can at least look at the other weeks. You can see there's all these different rides. So I'm trying out different beginner rides. There was a pop ride, there was an 80s ride. So you get a real feel for kind of what offerings they do have. And then the third week started advanced beginners. Let's see. And then they had a 10-minute arms toning in week number 3. It's like, why am I doing arms on the cycling class? I want to do arms. I can go into the section where there's strength training. But I guess maybe they're thinking some people are going to find this and not realize that there's other stuff on the bike. I don't know. I feel like if you are on the bike, you'll see there's strength training classes up at the top of the screen. There's all these different options. So if you're able to navigate well enough to find this program in the first place, because you have to go to the programs, you have to scroll down until you find it, I think you will have come across that there are other varieties of classes, not just cycling. And so now I'm at the week number 3. Oh no, now I'm going to go to the week number 4. There was something else that was in here. A core strength, a yoga. These are not cycling classes. And what else? A resistance band. So here's the deal. I was getting super sick of taking the program. On week number 5, I hit the button to take the resistance bands one. And then I ended the class and it gave me credit for it. So I totally cheated. I just did not want to take that one. Actually, one of them I did like was intervals in arms. So there's a pause in the middle of it where you do a little bit of arm strength, but you're still cycling. So I feel like that one was okay. It was the other ones that are nothing to do with cycling. Let's see, on the last week, yeah, there was a body weight boot camp. And so in order to find the actual badges in your progress, you have to go hit the 3 buttons at the top and go to progress report, and it will show you how much you've done. So you'll get little check boxes for everything, and you can see I'm just starting it. So it shows me only week 1, but as you go through it, you'll get to see more and more weeks, and you'll get the little bubbles for the classes that you get, and then the little meter bar will fill up until you reach whatever point you reach. I found that was really helpful. And your dates for the weeks start whatever day you hit start program. So I think I happened to start mine on a Friday, so that's when I would roll over to the next week, is on Fridays for the whole 6 weeks. And it tells you how many days are left so you can keep track of it. Sometimes during the end of the week, like I would have like 1 or 2 days left and I'd have more classes, and I'd have to really push it at the end because I was taking other things in between, especially those last couple weeks when I was super bored with the program. I feel like they should just have a 2-week program and skip the other 4 weeks personally. And so going back to just programs 2.0, it will have you locked into week 1 the whole 7 days. So if you finish your classes like on day 4 or day 5, it does not open week number 2 for you. In my instance here, it says July 14th through July 20th. So I could blast through the classes in 1 or 2 days and I would still be locked out of the class until July 21st when it would switch over to my week 2. So I found that one a little tedious when I tried to get ahead on things and I didn't want to take all the rest days that they recommend. You're just stuck. And I'm finding that I'm in the yoga program right now. That's the one I started after this, which I will review next as far as the reviews of these programs. But I find it really tedious that I'm at the end, I want to still do something, and I'm locked for a day or 2, and I can't move on to the next week. So I feel like it's probably better that they do it that way, so you have to take the rest days or you have to find something else, which is what I did. Let's be honest. I just found something else to do. But I wish you could have an option to like open up the new week early. That's my only complaint about switching from the programs, I guess 1.0 to programs 2.0, is they did lock the weeks. And they also locked each step, each class step. So you can only take the first one or the second one or the third one in order. The programs before, it didn't show you like getting credit for anything. You didn't get badges or anything, but you could jump around from week to week. It was just kind of like, this is kind of what we recommend. And programs 2.0 locks you in and they're like, this is what you're going to do if you sign up for this class. So all in all, I'm glad that I took it, especially just to be able to tell other people how it went. I definitely recommend taking the first 2 weeks of it, and then after that, go if you want to get the badge like I did. I kept it up because I'm like, I'm going to review this, I'm going to talk about it. I'm a beginner, so I want to give my beginner spin on it, which I felt like it was really unneeded, unnecessary after that second week. I felt like I knew what I was doing, I understood what the bike was doing, and I could just move on and pick my own classes. Being stuck into the program for the next 4 weeks was kind of annoying. It was just like something else to do on my checklist versus something I looked forward to, where the first 2 weeks I was excited about it and like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna learn today. And then by that third week, I'm like, wow, I'm really not like learning anything extra in here. I don't feel like I need the program anymore. I'm still getting better and improving on the bike, obviously. I didn't feel like the Mastering the Basics program really made that much difference, the other 4 weeks of the program. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys how the program went. I'm glad that I took it. I'm glad that I could share with you guys how it went. And I'm really just like in love with the bike. I'm almost to my 2-month anniversary. I've got like a week left. And I'm really just so gung-ho about the bike still. It's just life-changing. I love it so much. I would highly recommend it to anybody if you're thinking about it. And yeah, maybe take or leave the Mastering the Basics program. I'm in the yoga, so I'll let you guys know how that goes when I'm done with it. I think I still have 2 more weeks of that. But yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions about the bike, let me know. I love your suggestions for future videos that you want to see, so let me know. I do have a referral coupon if you're interested in the bike itself. It gives you $100 off accessories when you buy the bike. So you have to put the bike in your cart, $100 worth of accessories, and then it takes off $100. So it's good. I ended up getting a few extra accessories that way. And basically, if you want their shoes, it pays for a lot of the shoes. Anyway, I'll leave that in the description box for you guys. I hope you guys are well. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.